Welcome back to the second episode of Spiritual Drip. My name is Shiv Roop, and we have
Sup, I'm Chandon.
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 So today we're gonna be touching on a topic that I think a lot of people could relate to, including myself. That is fear. I've been a fear-based individual from a young age. And in a lot of aspects, I'm still scared, a lot of situations, people, places, and things. So the biggest challenge for me is just, first of all, talking about this topic on the podcast, and how I get over my fears. And there's so many different kinds, you know what I'm saying? It's not just one type of fear. So for me, it's best for me when I have a fear is to identify why I'm having this fear. What's the reason I'm having this fear, And I like to boil it down. If I'm scared of a cat, it's not just because of a cat. Maybe, I'm scared of cats because I got scratched when I was 9 years old. Identifying my fear, why I'm having this fear, and working towards the opposite. What am I gonna do contrary to face this fear? You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, more I walk through fear on a daily basis, the better it gets for me, the easier it gets in dealing with situations, people, places, and things. And at the same time, there's normal type of fears too. My body and my soul is telling me there's a lion about to attack you. Goddamn right, I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna be running like OJ in that case as a survival mechanism. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, topic of fear. And there's so many different kinds. They're so deep rooted too. So deep rooted from my childhood that they became stronger and developed momentum over the years for me too, So it's a very deep rooted issue. And it happens for me personally. It happens bits at a time. Dealing with my fear on a continuous, consistent basis, bits and pieces at a time. And I start getting over the hump and start to face my fears and start living more in reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my big challenges. And I also believe there's always a second round of fear. So if I get fearful of speaking in front of 5 people, 10 people, just an example, right? And I adapt to the situation. But then I'm gonna have a whole different set of fears. Now I gotta speak in front of 20, 30, 40, maybe bigger auditoriums full of people. There's always a new level of fear. So I think with fear comes opportunity for growth, for me personally, And another thing, I feel like I have to absorb the fear. I gotta feel it. When I was in the past, whenever I got a little scared, got anxiety inside, started imagining situations that might not even come true, right? It's okay for me just to absorb the fear, feel the emotions behind the fear. And then, for me, I just ask the universe, some higher power, whatever's out there, hey, you know what, please guide my thinking to walk through this fear and be a stronger man, you know what I'm saying? The situations. I get scared in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I am very confident. I'm fearless in a lot of ways. But I have a lot of aspect of me that's a scared little boy inside that I'm still dealing with and trying to deal life on life's term and facing those fears, on a continuous basis. So for me, it's that just having that awareness that it's a process that has to take place, and it's a slow, gradual process. Of course, I want to be a fearless tiger all of a sudden, you know what I mean? And conquer all my fears overnight, but that just doesn't work for me that way. So that's my experience with fear. I'd like to get your insight, for the audience, for people that do struggle with any type of fear, touching on how you deal with your fears. What's the process for you like?
What's up, guys? Chandon. fear. Well, you kind of like took the words out of my mouth when you're talking about how fear is like an opportunity for you to overcome the fear. When the fears crop up. I mean, I have the exact same fear. It's like speaking in front of people. And relating to what you said about, it comes from being younger and going through a situation where I had fear, and then realizing, oh, I have that fear, and either running away or trying to numb those feelings. The flight response for me is very, very quick. I run away from the fears because I don't want to face them. Because I guess I make up, situations that don't even happen in my head, and I still struggle with it. When I was probably 13 years old, I had an audition. I was in front of this big group of people from my school, and we were reading poems. So you had to memorize the poem, right? But me, I didn't memorize the poem because I didn't really care about it too much. So when I got up there, I pulled out my phone and I was reading it off it, and I already felt like fearful because everyone else remembered theirs and I had mine out on my phone trying to read it to them. And I stopped, like maybe in the beginning of it. I don't remember if it was in the middle or the beginning. And I remember looking up and looking back down, and I couldn't read it. Like the words would not come out. I was so fearful of being in front of everyone, and I walked off stage, like in pure disappointment myself, embarrassed, ashamed. And this was like, at this time, 100-something people was a lot of people for me to be embarrassed in front of. And I had to go to school and see these people every day, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I'm not the center of attention, but I thought I was center of attention at the time. And it like scarred me. So ever since then, I've had a fear of, going in front of people and speaking. So, like you said, when we have opportunities for us to face the fear, it makes the fear a little bit smaller, right? That's what I got from what you said. And I've noticed that, I've had opportunities where I've been able to get in front of people and speak, and it was like an eye-opener. It was like, oh wow, I really do make up these things, and people aren't really worried about what comes out of my mouth, So I like that we touched on this fear, because I have other fears of people judging me, so that's like a deep-rooted fear under the fear of public speaking, right? Is people judging me. I used to have fear of like being in front of a camera or like a microphone and talking, and now it's like I gotta walk up and mentally prepare myself. I don't give a fuck. Because once we stop giving a fuck about like what comes out or what people think about us, then it's like, okay, now I got no fear about it. It's hard though, because in the work world, right, when we're working or we have to be professional, you have to give a fuck, so it's hard to balance which way to go, because there's never a balance. It's always either in fear or not in fear, fear or not in fear. There's no middle ground for me, at least. So trying to balance it is probably the hardest thing, because I'll still wake up in fear, like financial fear, or fear of like not achieving my little goals that lead to bigger goals. But sometimes that fear will drive me to achieve those little goals. So it's something that like we as humans have to have our own experience with. We all have our own experience with, I feel like.
Nice, man.
But yeah, that's what I got on fear. I'm getting fearful just sitting here.
I hear that.
So, yeah, man, I don't really have anything else about fear. I'm getting fearful right now, so.
Great topic. See the mic?
Yeah, man.
But there you have it, y'all. Great topic. You know, it's one of those things. You know what I mean? I think we all deal with fear in some aspect or other. I don't think any person is completely fearless. You know what I'm saying? Could be. I don't know. But for me, it's a process. So challenge everybody, man, to face your fears. Don't run. Identify your fear and how you're gonna move towards it. How you gonna walk through it, rather. You know?
That's powerful.
Yeah. So that's it for the second episode. Kept it short and sweet for you. If you have any questions, comments, leave them all in the comment section. All right? Peace out. Thank you.